I want to learn what the shot means.
We're up to perek Gimel in eicha. And again, it's going to be the alibes, and this time it has the alibes times 3. Each letter is going to be 3 psukim with that letter, 3 times aleph, 3 times beis. It's in general, it's much shorter psukim than we had till now. And also, it's going to have the pay before the ayin. Let's just point that out again. And
this is 3 times longer than yesterday.
but each pasuk is probably a third of the size. As far as it looks even shorter than it's not longer than the other program. It starts. That's going to be pasuk paraches. So it starts ani gever. So it's someone's talking here in this perek. It starts off ani gever or ani. So the question is, who's that? Who's this ani? Some say it's Yirmiyah talking, and it might be something about his personal issue that they wanted to kill him, and there were many enemies. He had enemies. It could be that it's not about his personal thing, but it means the fact that he saw the Orban. That's going to be the ani. But so one shot is that ani gever Yirmiyah is talking. Some say Am Yisrael is talking. That it's in the name of Am Yisrael, and even though it's talking about as an individual, ani gever, I am the man. But still, maybe it's poetic and it's referring to Am Yisrael as a whole. Yirmiyah. Right. But he could have. This Kelma is talking about Yerushalayim, like it says. Yirmiyah lived through the Churban. He was prophesying for many years before that the Churban was going to happen, and that made him a lot of trouble. People wanted to kill him, and the pasuk in the beginning, when Hashem introduced him that he should be the Navi, he told him that he's going to be a Navi. So he was trying to get out of it, and that's the year where we had that in the first week of the 3 weeks, the first Haftarah after Shabbos B'Tammuz. And over there Hashem said, "I'm going to strengthen you. It'll be strong. Don't be scared. If you're going to be scared, I'm going to knock you down. If you don't be scared, I'm going to be with you the whole time. I'll make for you chomas nachoshish. It'll be like fortified. I'll fortify you against all your enemies. They won't be able to touch you." So either that's Ani Gever either talking about Yirmiyah or it's talking about Am Yisrael as a whole. Ani Gever Ra'ani b'shevet Evraso. I am the man who has seen affliction with the rod of his anger. The word Evra means anger. We said a few times already. And the shevet is a rod. I am the man who has seen affliction with the rod of his anger. So if we talk about Yirmiyah, it means that he saw the Churban in his days. He's the man who was chosen to be the Navi of the Tzoros. He saw the Churban happen.
Do we assume that he wrote this before, or is that not true?
There's a question in general. I should have said at the beginning of the whole eicha that the Gemara does talk about that is a pasuk in perek lamed vav in Yirmiyah where it talks about that Yirmiyah wrote something, and the Gemara in Moed Katan Daf Chav Vav says that it's talking about kinos. It means this book.
Lamed vav of what?
Yirmiyah perek 36.
I see.
And the Gemara says that this is what he wrote over there, and Ibn Ezra says it's not pshat, and the pshat is something else. Over there, he wrote something else about King Yokim. Over there, said that was surely before the Churban. Here, the question is, if you don't take that Gemara, he wrote it earlier as a prophecy. But now, the Gemara, in the pshat level, you could learn that this is written at a later time. It might have been even after. In the pshat, without any other Gemara, you could say the Chorah that eicha was written as Lamentations after the Churban had happened. Again, I'm going to say it as the pasuk says, Ani Gever, an individual, but there is a pshat to say that it's talking about the Am Yisrael as a whole, and they talk about themselves as a man amongst other people, but maybe it's the whole nation talking. But I'll translate it as it is, that there's one man talking. Either it's Yirmiyah personally or as Am Yisrael that's being personified as an individual man. I am the man who has seen affliction with the rod of his anger. Pasuk 2, Osina hag vayolach, according to the Trop, just to point out the Trop that the biggest stop in the pasuk is by the word vayolach. Osina hag vayolach, choshech v'lo'or. Me, he led, and both words would mean to, maybe I don't have a good translation. Nahag vayolach. Both of them mean that he led and he took me to darkness and not light. He led me in Hashem, led me into darkness and not into light. Ach bi yashuv yafoch yado kol hayom. To me, he constantly turns his hand the whole day, which means that he's constantly hitting me. Hashem is constantly hitting me. Pasuk 4. Beloved Sarivori, Shibar Atzmosai. My flesh and skin. He has withered my flesh and skin, and he has broken my bones. Pasuk, I guess this is 5.
Ori Shiva, the Ori is to be quickly. Shiva,
Ori-
that's my time.
Ori is my skin.
All right.
Is there any significance to the shortness of these psukim as opposed to the first?
No, I don't know.
Is there a question?
The psukim are very short. The psukim are very short. It has 3 times the aleph beis. Each time is 3, but it's not longer. It's not longer than the one pasuk of before. So I don't know why that gets very short. I don't know.
What does the ach be? The translation of them?
The word ach usually means like only, but it means like that's that. I don't know if it means to say that that's what he's only doing, or it means that he's doing this to me. This is the only thing he's doing to me.
And lav focus to.
Yeah, focus to turn. But turning means that he's turning again and again, which would mean that he's coming back at me again and again, that he hits me and comes back to hit me again. He has made my flesh and skin wither. He has broken my bones. The next pasuk, Bana alai bayakaf, roshus la. Again, just to point out that it's very confusing sometimes because we said that the Balakriya, they make a tefir very cantorial. That means they stretch out the tvir and the tipchanat. So it makes it sound, they stop in the wrong place. Especially it comes out in these psukim. Osino and pasuk 2. Osino hag, vayolach choshech v'lo. That's not correct. Osino hag vayolach choshech v'lo. This pasuk again, you don't say bana alai vayakaf roshus la. That's incorrect. Bana alai vayakaf kama roshus la. It's always the rule is always true that the tipcha is stronger than the tvir. But it comes up in eicha also, the nigun of eicha, they make a bigger stop by the tvir than by the tipcha, so it's incorrect.
And Ian, that's the good, that's the guys from Zilberman.
In the Chorva, they already read it.
Oh,
But now, like by Yakaf, Rosh Usla, he has built on me and surrounded me with Rosh and Tla'a. Rosh and Tla'a, Rosh means a kind of a poisonous plant. And Tla'a also might mean like Lana, Rosh Valana. Usually goes together, Rosh Valana. And here it doesn't say Lana, here it says Tla'a. But it might also, some say it means the same thing. It means some kind of a poisonous.
Bitterness.
Okay, so that would mean, what is the first one you said?
Gold.
Okay, it's two kinds of poisonous or bitter plants. And we don't know the word Tla'a to mean that. Just something to say that it goes together usually, Rosh and Lana, Lana of a Rosh. So maybe here also Tla'a means that. But the Tla'a usually would mean tsaros, troubles. So he has built upon me and surrounded me with Rosh and Tla'a. Rosh is kind of a poisonous or bitter plant, and Tla'a might also mean a different kind of plant that's like that, or it means troubles, with all kinds of troubles. Next pasuk, it's very hard for me to see what number we're up to because of the way my numbering goes on the side, and I can't see which number we are, but we're in, okay, base. Letter base. This is good, okay. He has sat me in darkness like the everlasting dead. Either means the ones who are dead from old, the ones who had died from a long time ago. He had sat me in darkness like those that are dead. Pasuk on the Gimel, not Pasuk Gimel, but letter Gimel. Again, the big stop is by the word eitzei. He has fenced me in. He made a fence before me. A gader is a fence. Ba'adi means in front of me. He closed me in. The lo eitzei, I'm not able to get out. He made heavy my nechoshes. So the nechoshes literally means copper, but it means like copper chains. That was what they used to use for chains. And someone has sometimes a chain that's heavy. Either he has a ball with a metal ball that they made that he shouldn't be able to move. Whatever the point is, that he made the chains heavy in order that he shouldn't be able to move. So the point is saying that Hashem has fenced me in a way that I can't escape, and he made my chains on me very heavy. That's a sin, not a shin. Even if I cry out and cry out for help, zaka, shava, but still my tefillah is stuffed, like sotem. Sotem means to be stuffed up in a way that it doesn't go through. So my tefillah is not accepted. Even if I'm crying out to Hashem, He doesn't hear my tefillah. Next pasuk, Gadar durachai bebazis nesivo sai iva. The same word as Gadar in the beginning, the two psukim ago. Gadar badi. Here is Gadar durachai bebazis. Hashem has fenced in my road with gazis. Gazis are bricks that are smooth, that are carved out, straight bricks. I don't know why it makes a difference what kind of stones they are, but that's the same thing. Lichkas agazis. Lichkas agazis means the chamber of the hewn stone. So gazis is hewn stone that He made a fence out of hewn stone to fence me in. The Sivosai Iva, He has corrupted my paths. Means that He made I had a straight path, and now He made that I can't go on a straight path because it's fenced in. I have to go around if I want to have to make detours in order to get any place. He didn't let me to go straight. Hashem has done all this. Hashem has done to me. The letter Dalet, Tova Reiv Huli, Ariv Mistarim. Hashem is like a ambushing bear, like a lion lurking in hiding. It means He's describing Hashem as coming out to get me. All these things that Hashem is punishing me. The word sorer has to do with thorns. Tirachai sorer means Hashem thorned my path. He put thorns on the path that I shouldn't be able to walk. So they say it means to spread out. Usually the word pashach can mean like to break off a branch or something like that. But the point is to say that when I was walking, I had to take big steps to be able to avoid the thorns. He made me take big steps because my road was full of thorns. Samani Shomem, He made me to be desolate. Hashem made me desolated me. Again, the word of Darach Kashto, we had that maybe yesterday. Darach Kashto, that was in the pasuk 4 of perek 2. Darach Kashto Koye. Here it also says that Hashem drew His bow, but here it says Vayatziveni. He erected me. Like what? It's like a target for an arrow. It means He made me to be the target, and He was shooting arrows at me. Darach Kashto Vayatziveni Kamatarol Lachetz. Here the comma would be, so to speak, after the word Vayatziveni. The Zakev is a bigger stop than the tip after it. Hashem drew His bow and He erected me as a target for the arrow. The letter Hey. He brought into my kidneys the contents of His quiver. The ashpa is the quiver. That's the bag that holds the arrows. That's called an ashpa. And the ashpa so means the contents of the quiver, which is the arrows. He brought the arrows into my liver. It means He shot at my liver. He brought into my kidneys the contents of His quiver. I become a laughing stock for my whole nation. Their song the whole day, constantly. They're laughing, they're singing about me, singing ridicule about me. So my whole nation. If it's talking about Yirmiyah personally, then it means the nation, the people who were against him, his enemies that were ridiculing him. And if it means Am Yisrael, then it means to all the other nations. It's called Kalami. If you personify Am Yisrael as one man amongst the nation, so it means Am Yisrael amongst the other nations. So they're all ridiculing him and singing laughter about him. Hisbiyani b'amrorim hirvani lana. He satiated me with bitterness. Mirorim is bitter herbs. So He made me satiated from bitter herbs. He quenched me with lana. Here's the word lana. Before we said with ayin and with a nun. Before was a hold together. Before was tough lamed aleph hey. Right. This is lamed ayin nun. A whole different word. But some say before that it also means lana because usually rosh and lana go together. But here it's some kind. Here surely lana means this kind of a bitter herb. And He quenched me with this. This is what He gave me teeth the whole time. He's giving me rosh, lana, mirorim. It's the poetic way of figuratively saying that Hashem gave me all kinds of service that He gave me to eat these bitter and poisonous herbs. Pasuk on the letter Vav. By grace, by grace, they say means to break. He broke my teeth with chatzatz. Chatzatz is pebbles. They call that today also. The word for pebbles today is also chatzatz. So he broke my teeth with pebbles, as if that's what he gave me to eat in my mouth, and my teeth broke from the pebbles. So the word kichbishani is kaf peshin, and that's one of those ein lo chaver. There's only place in Tanakh where it has this word with the showish kaf peshin. From the context, it sounds like turning me over, like they say kafosi. There's a few possibilities, maybe. Some say that he dirtied me. You can't tell from the word because we don't know what the word means. It's only from this pasuk. It's something about ashes. If Bishani Boifa either means that he covered ashes over me, or it means that he dirtied me with ashes. Whatever you think, whatever speculation you have for the word kafash. Pasuk, next one about Vav. Vatiznach mishalom nafshi, nashisi tova. Once again, the big stop is on the word nafshi, not by mishalom. Vatiznach mishalom nafshi, not vatiznach mishalom nafshi nashisi tova. That's wrong. Vatiznach mishalom nafshi, my soul has been abandoned from peace. Means usually a person has peace, but when the peace abandons him, that's called vatiznach mishalom nafshi. My soul has been abandoned from peace. Nashisi tova, I have forgotten goodness. Means I don't even remember what goodness is. Nashisi tova, I have forgotten goodness.
Is the like you said about the snachta or the severe, but it's the snachta mishalom.
Is it? No, not a snachta. I'm talking about tevir and a tipcha. There's a tvir on the word shalom. There's a tipcha on the word nafshi, and the tipcha is a bigger stuff.
Tipcha is a bigger stuff. It's mishalom is the severe.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That a tipcha is always stronger than a tvir. We're not used to it because the Bali Kari don't do it like that. But it's mamish a mistake. It could be proven thousands of times. Sometimes it changes the pshat. But the accuracy is always a tipcha is bigger than a tevir, and sometimes it's makes change the pshat. Sometimes it's ridiculous even. Sometimes it's a stam is wrong. But it's always that's the klal, and whoever could to change the bali korah that they should be more medactic. But here it comes up a lot. But tiznach mishalom nafshi nashisi tova. My soul has been forsaken from peace. I have forgotten goodness.
How do you express the severe?
Whatever you do, whatever you do, make the tipcha bigger stop than the tevir. If you want to make the tevir a long tevir, make the tipcha even bigger. Make a big stop after the tevir, after the tipcha. If you want to leave the tipcha regular, then make the tevir shorter. Don't make the tevir a bigger stop than the tipcha, which most Malik do. They do a mistake. They make the tevir a bigger stop. You'll pay attention to even like Kriyas Torah, not only by here eicha. All the Nevi'im, all the Torah and Nevi'im, it's always the tipcha is a bigger stop than the tefillah. Once you notice it, you'll see it's constant. It's always. And I said that my strength. They say the word netzach. Sometimes the word netzach means eternity. Sometimes it means strength. So I said that my strength has been lost. Means I said to myself that that's it. I can't. I'm never going to get out of this. My strength is gone, and my hope. The hope, like Yachel Yisrael Hashem. The word tochelas means hope. That I lost. I have lost hope. I said to myself that my strength is gone and my hope from Hashem. Now up to letter Zion. Here it has again the word lana and has rosh also. Lana berosh. We had before rosh usla'ah. We had afterwards lana. Here we have lana berosh. Remember my poverty or affliction and mirudi. Mirudi they say means like sorrow. We had the pasuk once before also in pasuk Zion, Aleph Zion. Just to jump back a second over there, it says Zachar Yerushalayim Yimei Al Yom Mirudeha. There we said the word mirudeha might mean outcry or sorrow from the context. But remember my affliction and my sorrow, la nova rosh, which is like these poisonous and bitter herbs. The word zachor might mean to remember, asking Hashem to remember, or it means remembering my poverty and sorrow was like wormwood and these poisonous things. I remember I remember, and my soul is bent over on myself. Means when I remember all my sorrows, I get lowered. But the word shach would be like shach, like mishtachaveh means to lower. Like shach, the word shach means to be lowered. Mishtachaveh means one lowers himself. So when I remember all my sorrows, I become lowered. My soul becomes lowered. Zosa, now it's still the Zion, but it's going on now to the next psukim. Even the Zion is going to go into the Ches. Zosa Shiva now starts some psukim of encouragement. Even though until now it's all been that everything's going bad. Hashem is everything's bad to me. Now he starts with some psukim of hope. Zosa from pasuk the end of the Zion. Zosa Shiva Lidi Al Kenocha. The following thing I take to heart, I return to my heart, and therefore I do have hope. Means he said before that I almost lost hope. But now he says, I take this to heart, the following thing, and therefore I do have hope. The kindness of Hashem does not end. The word tamnu is like the word tam. Tam means to be finished. So lo tamnu. The kindness of Hashem does not finish.
Okay, it sounds like he's sharing his thoughts. And like, how's that not him? He's getting in a voyage.
No, I don't think it's Nebuah.
So he's steering his thoughts. Like, why is that important to us now?
This is the lamentation that we see that it's very much the emotions that happen during the Korban. So it's very important to us, and we're supposed to share with it. And the person who reads it, he's lamenting together.
Why did we talk in Hashem? Why did that make it here? It's
and it means in the middle of all the tzaros, and he thinks everything is lost, but then he reminds himself that Hashem is still with him. That even though he's still in the midst of the tzaros, but he is not singing to Hashem at this point. He's not saying that I know Hashem is not going to forsake me, even though he sees that everything's lost. This is in the middle of the darkness. It's like come out in the middle of the Sefer Eicha. It looks almost like Mamish in the middle. And he says that I know that Hashem's kindness never stops. His mercy is never ending. The constantly new in the mornings. So they have to put in the word chasadim. It's like chasadim chadashim. That constantly Hashem is doing new kindness every morning. Great is your trustworthiness. So this is the agab. This is what people say in the morning. The modani is based on this pasuk. People make a mistake over there also. They say b'chem la rabba. That's not a mistake. B'chem la kama. Rabba munasacha. Rabba munasacha is right here. That Hashem's namonos is great. Hashem's trustworthiness is great. Pasuk Chadashim Labkarim means every morning new. But what's new? So new chesed. Some might say also that the soul is returned, but that's no more when you're talking about modani, something like that. That Chadashim Labkarim, that Hashem returns our life to us. But in the concept of the pasuk, it doesn't sound so much that the point is get life again. Chazdei Hashem kilos samnu. So then the pasuk of Chadashim is probably going back on Chazdei Hashem. So the words Chalki Hashem are in quotations. My soul says Chalki Hashem. My soul says my portion is Hashem. Chalki means my portion. My soul says Amran Nafshi Chalki Hashem. Chalki Hashem is in quotations. That's what my soul says. Alkeino Chilo. Therefore I hope to God. I hope to God because He is my portion. Pasuk on the letter test. Hashem is good to those who hope to Him, to the soul that seeks Him. Here it's a little difficult in the words, but they say that it means it is good to hope to Hashem and to be quiet. Like Tov liachel, even though it doesn't say that, it says Tov liachel. But the version that I saw, they say as if it says Tov to hope. It is good to hope and to be quiet, means to be silent and quiet and wait for the Yeshua. This is Yeshua Sadinoi, for the salvation of God, of Hashem. Once again, Tov Yachil B'Dumam Yeshua Sadinoi. It is good to hope and to be quiet to the salvation of Hashem. You might say good and hope and silence, but the word Tov alone doesn't stand on its own. Good, yeah, maybe they say, so they say Tov V'Yachil, that is good to hope. And to be silent means not to complain and kick, wait for the salvation of Hashem. It's good for a man to carry the yoke from his youth. Which yoke? So it might be the yoke of Musar, it might be the yoke of the Tsaros, that they carry the yoke, that even when, that's a drash. That's it. That's
No, why-
you show, you see from the pasuk over here, right? No, you see.
Then why is it relevant to eicha? It's not a nice piece of advice.
So it would mean that if it means Tsaros, it means that he should hold on to the Tsaros. He shouldn't. It's good that he should take on the yoke. Don't throw off the yoke. If Hashem puts onto him a yoke of Tsaros, he should accept it. Yeshev badad v'yidam, up to the letter Yud. Yeshev badad v'yidam ki natan lalav. He should sit alone, but the word badad is alone, like you have badad yeshev b'chutz lamachaneh, eicha yashva badad, right at the beginning of eicha. Badad means alone, in solitude. He should sit in solitude and v'yidam. That means to be quiet, to be silenced. Some say that yidam also has to do with waiting and hoping. I'm sorry? Right? So Yeshev Badad v'yidam, he should sit in solitude and in silence. Ki natal alav, because what? So natal means to take, and alav is upon him. So what's ki natal alav? So some say that because Hashem has taken from him, which would mean that Hashem is going to take away that yoke, that he should carry the yoke, he shouldn't throw it off. Hashem put something on him, but he should be quiet and hope because Hashem is going to take it away.
It's like more like Hashem put it on it.
Ki natal.
Has laid it upon
Hashem, because Hashem, I get it. That's maybe
He
that's
took
maybe,
this
maybe
source and
he
put
put
it
it
on.
on. So he should accept it because Hashem has put it upon him. Not that Hashem is taking it away. You're right. I think that's what I wrote also. I didn't realize that I did write that.
And I have in Yidom here, article says submissiveness. Like the quiet is
Right,
being able
but
to
it could be that
accept.
that's the explanation. But the literal translation will be to be quiet.
Yeah, being
It
quiet.
could be cool if you want to be cooler. It could be cooler.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
So you'll come.
Yitain, thank you. Yitain b'afar pi ulai yesh tikva. He should put his mouth to the dust. Maybe there is hope. So that will be also a way of submissiveness when a person lies on the floor. Like to be mishtachaveh means that he's lowering himself completely. So that's the expression called to put his mouth to the dust. He should put his mouth to the dust. Maybe there is hope. Means maybe if he submits himself and accepts everything that Hashem does, so maybe there's hope that he will be saved.
As opposed to what? As opposed to fighting.
Right, fighting and
the
kicking it
source.
off and complaining He should give his cheek to the one who hits him, and he shall be full of disgrace. Means not that this is not to do with the Christianity that says that to give the other cheek. If there's somebody that he can fight with, so then he should fight back. But the point is to say that when he sees that Hashem is the one who's hitting him, so then he should accept. If he sees Hashem is the one,
Here is Hashem
I think so.
because they don't
They don't
put
make
it
a
in
capital,
No.
but I think that's the point. Or he knows that Hashem is the one who's sending all those people, so he should he's accepting it. Because Hashem is not going to forsake forever. The word zanach, we had already the word zanach in the beginning. Zanach means bechol. The word zanach means to forsake. Kilo yiznach la'olam Adonai. Again, to point out that the tipcha is bigger than the tvir. Kilo, you don't say kilo yiznach la'olam Hashem. That's incorrect. Kilo yiznach la'olam Hashem, because Hashem is not going to forsake forever.
Excuse me, can I ask a question on the Yuds?
Sure.
It's good to be submissive and be able to accept what's going on, put your mouth to the.
When Hashem is the one who is hitting him.
So in terms of like anti-Semitism in America, let's say, and there are people who, we have to fight it, and as opposed to saying, I guess it's time to move to Israel.
Right, I think so. I think you're right.
This might be talking about
I
that.
think
I mean, like on the one
that-
hand, it's wrong. The anti-Semitism is wrong.
Yeah,
and
but
they
there-
may legally be able to do something.
Right.
But
I think-
is it talking about like maybe that's not always the right way to do it?
Yeah, I don't think you take it from here. Here, the point is that maybe they should realize that Hashem is telling them something. If they realize that Hashem is the one, and they shouldn't feel like equal citizens, that we have rights, we have to fight for our rights, they should realize that they don't belong over there, and Hashem is maybe orchestrating that they should get the feeling that they don't
But if they
belong
see
there.
that it's an agent of Hashem,
Yes.
and take that lesson even.
But I think they only can do that if they know if they first have the prerequisites. So they know the Torah that says you're supposed to be in Eretz Yisrael, and you're not supposed to be in the Torah if you can avoid it. If they don't have that Hagdama, that preface, then they don't know how to translate anything. Who says Hashem is saying that? Maybe Hashem wants us to Like
Okay, or like Arabs in Israel.
that could be not.
No,
Could be not. Means you have to first have the Torah to know what does Hashem want us to do. Does Hashem want us to give up Eretz Yisrael and move out into the sea? Like what Hashem has given us, open up the doors
No,
and
but
within
maybe there's a
miracles.
lesson to be learned.
Okay, but get it to the Torah. Go to the Torah to see what Hashem says.
Okay.
Pasuk
Lamed Aleph.
Be'awi, which number? Chaf.
Chaf.
We did already.
We did.
Kilo is nach la'olam adinai, because up to the cups, right? Because Hashem will not forsake forever. Kiyam hoga, v'micham kibov chasadav. The word hoga we had a couple of times in the beginning, which we said that the shoresh is yogon, that it means agony. Because even though Hashem has agonized us, kiyam hoga, even though Hashem has done agony to us, but v'micham kibov chasadav. But He's going to have compassion according to His abundant kindness. The next pasuk about kaf. The next pasuk seems to be going together with the lameds. Because Hashem did not afflict from His own will, means that He didn't do it on His own, just He willingly wants to afflict the Jews. And the word vayag is again as hoga, that He didn't cause the agony to people just because asmi libo, that Hashem just decided that He wants to cause agony. And to lower, to crush beneath His feet all of those that are imprisoned. Also, to say that all this is lo malibo. You have to go back to the pasuk before. It's a run-on pasuk that Hashem did not afflict and He did not cause agony and He did not crush under His feet all malibo. He didn't do it just on His own. La'atos mishpat geber neged pnei elyon, and to tilt, to incline, to tilt the justice of man opposite the face of the Supreme. Means that Hashem, all this is not malibo. It's a run-on pasuk to before that Hashem did not willingly just do all this bad to mankind. Hashem does not approve of corrupting man in his fight, in his contention. He has a fight with somebody that Hashem is going to corrupt the one who's really innocent to make him guilty. All Hashem doesn't see proof of all that. So who is the one who's doing it? It's going to go on to say, so where does it come from? Why is all of this Torah coming? Who is the one who said then something happened to me? Means who's the one who said, who instructed, who commanded that it should happen? If Hashem did not command, means that if Hashem did not command, so it wouldn't have happened. From the mouth of the Supreme One, from the what we call in Yiddish Ebershter, the most supreme, from the mouth of the Supreme One, it does not come out. The good and the bad does not come out from the mouth of Hashem. That Hashem does not decree should be good or bad, but it's missing something. It means to say, so where does it come from? The point is going to be of all this that man, you brought it upon yourselves. Of course, Hashem does justice, but it's a result of your doings. So don't just think that Hashem decreed that it should be evil upon somebody for no reason. The reason is always going to be because man brought it upon himself.
Yep.
Yes?
I'm sorry, no, ma.
What can a living man complain? He's the man over his sins. Means it's the sins that he has to complain about. What should man complain about? The man should be only complaining about his sins. It throws in the word, the living man. That the Gemara is going to say, Drash maybe, that as long as if he's living, he has no reason to complain. Hashem gave him life. But the point, he should appreciate the life. But the point is to say that there's nothing to complain about besides his own sins. That's the direction that he should point his complaints to. That why did he sin? Maybe clear up the sins, do tshuva, take them. But the complaint is against his sins.
But where's the gever off the top?
That means like as if to say that I think it goes back to the beginning of the pasuk. Why should he complain? The man should complain. Gever, and the answer is al chatav. What should man be complaining about? Means if he's complaining to God, we say, what are you complaining about? What should man be complaining about? His own sins. We should search out our ways and investigate and return to Hashem. Means after we realize that the cause of all of our suffering is because of our own sins, so we should search out our ways and return to Hashem. Nechapes means to search, nachkor is to investigate, nashuv is to return. So there's a question what the word kapayim means. Some say that it means hands. Some say that it means clouds. Two pshatim in the word kapayim. We find both the translations in the Tanakh. Sometimes it means hands, sometimes it means clouds. So one pshat is we should raise up our hearts to the clouds, which would mean that Hashem is figuratively in the heavens. Not that Hashem is physically in the heavens, but the heavens is the thing that is the mashal for all kind of shefa that comes to the world. So we talk about Yiras Shamayim, the fear of heaven. We talk about heaven as representing Hashem. So we should lift up our hearts to the clouds, to God in heaven. El El Bashamoy. The other
So
pshat,
we should either lift up our hearts to the clouds.
right, which would mean El El Bashamoy, as the pasuk ends off, to God in heaven. The other pshat in the word kapayim means hands, and the pshat will be we should lift up our hearts together with our hands. Means sometimes a person that lifts up his hands in prayer, but his heart is not there. So the pasuk is saying we should lift up our hearts together with our hands. It's not enough just to lift up your hands in prayer. You have to lift up your hearts also. That's the, I think that would be if you make like paragraphs, it would start from key, which would be what would we call that? Pasuk 33 maybe. Kilo inam libo. That's 33, right? So I think from 33 until here.
We're talking about where it started. Hope.
Kilo inam libo.
No, you started, I think, with.
We started about the Zoso Shiva Libi. There was one paragraph. That was pasuk 21. 21.
You said hope, and then it keeps going up.
Right, it goes all good, right? And then you might say that by 33 is where it starts a new subject. Till then, it's talked about that hope to Hashem and accept what He's giving to you. Hashem is not going to forget, He's not going to forsake you, and even if He causes agony, He's going to have compassion. And then the next subject seems to be talking about that in one big run-on from 33 and on, that Hashem did not cause all this, Hashem is not the cause of all this bad. And it comes down to say that it's our own doings, which is there at the end of Pasuk 39. And then it says at the end, one more Pasuk 40 and 41, that we should do tshuva. We should realize that we're the source of the bad that befalls us, and we should lift up our hearts to Hashem to do tshuva. Could be that's like end of a subject now, and now 42 starts another paragraph, another series of psukim. Learn this pasuk over here. What does it mean? The comparison that we have sinned and you have not forgiven. So there's a similar pasuk. There's a similar pasuk towards the end of the Sefer. The last pasuk, he most mastanu kasaf mode. But if we look at this pasuk alone, some say that we did like what's normal for people. Nachnu pashanim marinu, but you, Hashem, forgive. Like it's not usual for you not to forgive. We like for us, well, that's what man is. Man sins, but God is not forgiving. That's how some learn. Some say that it's not coming to ask. It's not a plea that Hashem should forgive, but it's saying that it's deserving, that since we have sinned and rebelling, and like we're not doing tshuva, that's the reason why Hashem is not forgiving. Not that it's a complaint or a bakasha, not a plea, but it's saying that that's our situation, that we have sinned and Hashem is therefore not forgiven. Pasuk 43. Sakosa ba'afateh defenu harakta locha molta. You have made a separation, like the word sakosa sometimes would mean like schach, like that would mean a roof. But here the point is more like some kind of a machitza, some kind of a partition, that you have made a partition because of your anger between us and Hashem. And you have pursued us. You have killed, you have not had compassion. And again, the same word sakosa. Sakosa, you have separated. Here the word could mean like a schach, like a roof, because it's talking about the clouds, as if to say that Hashem made the clouds to be a separation between Him and the people, and He doesn't allow the prayer to go. Before I spoke about prayer, like lifting up your hearts to the clouds, to God in heaven. But now, as Hashem saying, that the pasuk is saying that as if Hashem doesn't want to accept the prayer, so He made a machitza of clouds that the prayer shouldn't go through. You made us to be filth and disgust amongst the nations, that Hashem orchestrated that we should be considered filth and disgust amongst the nations. The nations look at us as disgusting. And we go to the letter Pei, here with the letter Pei is before the ayin. All of our enemies have opened up their mouth against us. We had that earlier also. I could find it, there was a similar expression where I spoke about Patsu Alayich Bihem Mamish in the perek before, perek 2, pasuk 16, which was the pay over there. Patsu Alayich Bihem Kol Yivayich. Over there, it's talking about those who speak about Yerushalayim.
Which pasuk?
That was, and that's pointing out that the same expression is used in 2:16, and here is by us in Patsu Aleinu Piyam Kol Yivayinu, the same expression that was before. This by us, but now we're in pasuk 46, that our enemies have opened up their mouth against us.
Yeah, I see.
Again, you have, this also is important about the Tvir, that is not as big a stop as the Tipcha. So even though in the shul you might hear Pachad v'fachas, hayolanu hasheis v'shava. That's not incorrect. Pachad v'fachas hayolanu. That's the way to divide the pasuk, that it has come to us, Pachad and Pachas. So Pachad is fear, and Pachas is a trap. A trap is called a Pachas. So it has come to us a fear and a trap. Hasheis v'ashavar. So sheis, they say the word sheis is like from the word shoah. The word shoah means catastrophe. So sheis, they say, is from the same shorish. So the catastrophe and the break has become for us a pachad v'fachas. Pachad v'fachas hayolanu kama hasheis v'ashavar. The shoah and the break has become for us a fear and a trap. It might be starting a new series now, a couple of psukim, if you want to, just to point out the possibility that from pasuk 48, it might be a series of a few psukim. Rivers of water come out of my eyes, come down from my eyes because of the break of my nation. If Yirmiyah is talking, so he's talking as an individual, he talks about the break of his nation, or if the Am Yisrael is talking, they're talking about the whole nation. The nation is crying about their downfall. It would be simpler to talk about Yirmiyah, that Yirmiyah says that my eyes flow rivers of water because of the break of my nation. My eye flows without stopping. And mein hafugos is again that it doesn't let up. The word pag means to expire. So both tidmeh also means that it doesn't, lo tidmeh, it doesn't stop, it doesn't get silenced. My eye doesn't silence from crying, and it doesn't let up. Mein hafugos. Until when? Till when am I going to cry? Until Hashem is going to look and see from heaven. My eye is olallah l'nafshi. What does this word mean? The word olallah is a kind of a nivul, that it becomes disgusting. That my eye, because of all my crying, has become disgusting. I don't know how to say that. What happens to an eye after it cries a lot? But my eye, olallah l'nafshi. I'm not sure. Mikol b'nosiri. They say because of all the daughters of my city. It means because of all the people of my land. So that's why I'm crying so much, and my eye has already become disgusting. They bring down a pasuk in Eob, which has the same expression of olallah.
Sorry, is this similar to Leah's eyes?
I don't see that.
Here it says rock. I think that they were like
And it's
rockers.
rakos, right? But it doesn't say the word olallah, right? Something about olallah. Over there it says rakos. There's a pasuk in Eob that they do bring in Eob 16:15. Maybe we can jump there for a second.
On
olallah, Eob 15:16. No, wrong one. Eob Tezayin Tezvav. I don't see it. No, I don't see what I was referring to. I'd have to look it up again. I must have had Tezayin Tezvav. I have the wrong one. I'm sorry. I was looking at 15. 15. Yes. Sak tafarti alei gildi ba'olalti ba'farkani. They read this pasuk to say that the word olel, ayin lamed lamed, has something to do with disgust or some kind of different similar nuance. So over there, it's talking about that his keren, his dignity, his horn is filthy from the earth, from the dust, as if his horn, which is supposed to be his strength and dignity, is disgusting from the mud that it fell into. So that's the word olal, you see, means disgust. So Eli, I don't get the word lenafshi over here. That's a little bit unclear to me. Eini olullah lenafshi. If he would say without the word lenafshi, it means Eini olullah mikol b'nosiri, that my eye is disgusting from all of the tzaras that has befallen my people. But I'm not clear on the word lenafshi. I didn't get a shot on that one. Pasuk 52. Where it's the letter tzadi. So tzaduni katzipor. Again, you have the stop on the comma on the word katzipor. So tzaduni katzipor, oivai chinam. They have hunted me like a bird. My baseless enemies, oivai chinam. Those who are my enemies for no reason. They're my enemies, my oivai chinam, like a sonei chinam. My oivai chinam, they have hunted me like a bird. Samsuba bor chayoy v'yadu eben bi. They cut off my life in the pit, which would maybe mamish refer to Yemiyah, because Yemiyah was thrown into a pit. He almost died over there. So they have cut off my life in the pit, and they threw a stone at me, as if after he's in the bore, they also threw a stone on him. So for my malvoshi, amartin exorti. The water floated above my head, as if to say he's drowning. And I said to myself that I'm cut off. That's it. I'm finished. I called out your name, Hashem, from the pit of the lower, of the Netherlands, of the down. Kali Shamata, you have heard my voice. Do not conceal or hold back or ignore your ear from my revacha, that I should have revach. Revach means the opposite of being with some sound. When a person is berevach, like when I'm metzah, nachav, like wide, something about wide. To my salvation. Do not ignore your ear. It means your ear should not ignore the call that I'm calling to you for revach, for broadness, l'shavasi, to my salvation. You came close on the day that I called out to you, and you said, "Do not fear." It means this is again psukim of closeness, that he again reminds himself that I called out to you, and you said I should not fear. You Hashem have fought my fights, the fights of my soul. You have fought for me. You redeemed my life. You Hashem have seen my corruption. I think it means the corruption that was done to me. Shaftam mishpati, judge my case. Take up my case. You have seen all of their revenge, what they're doing to me. You see all their planning against me, the nakama they want to take against me. The pasuk on Shin, you have heard their ridicule, Hashem, all of their thoughts against me. You know everything that they're thinking and they're saying about me. The lips of those who stand up against me. Kamai is those who will stand up against me. The lips of those who stand up against me, and their speech, their speech or their thoughts, are about me constantly. That's all they're talking and thinking about. Look at their sitting and standing. Hashem, look what they're doing. They're sitting and standing the whole time. I'm their tune. They're ridiculing me. They're singing a tune about my downfall. And the last letter, Taf, Tashiv Lam Gemul Adinoi, Kemasei Dehem. Return to them retribution. Here's the word Gemul. Yeah, today Gomlin. The whole thing in the Gemara was about Gomlin. The word Gemul means to pay back. So over there, paying back was to do a favor for each other. Here it means give them what they deserve. Return to them what they deserve, Hashem. Kemasei Dehem, like the work of their own hands. Kemasei Dehem. Again, to point out that the trop is Tashiv Lam Gemul Hashem, not Tashiv Lahem Gemul, comma, Hashem Kemasei Dehem. That's not true. To return to them Hashem retribution like they have done. Titein Lahem Megina slave, Talascha Lahem. Give to them a Megina slave. So the word here is not such a usual word, but the context says that it means the break. Give them a broken heart. Talascha Lahem, a klala to them, like the word Allah. The shosh of the word mean Allah, which means a curse. You should give your curse to them. And the last pasuk, may you pursue in anger and destroy them from under the heavens of Hashem.
Is it past week or on Friday? Finish the eicha?
We should be able to finish tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. No, tomorrow is I don't think, according to the amount, it's not longer than the one paragraph on there.
In the last pasuk, how do you? Where's the? Where
The comma is after the word Vasash Midem. Tidov Vasash Midem. It's very simple that the Zakif, you see the on the word, there's a Zakif, the two dots on top of the Dalid, that's a Zakif. And the Tipcha is after that. The Zakif is bigger stop than the Tipcha. And the Tipcha is a bigger stop than the
The
Tvil.
zakif and the tzidov. What do you?
No, on the word Vasash Midem.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I see.
Noted.
Thank you.
Right now.